describe
Yeah.
in detail.
Yeah, Canis will describe it in great detail. Now, one of the things is DKC2 is the harder out of the three DKC games. Very technical, very tough.
Yes. I mean,
I mean, it's arbitrary, but if I had to rank the games, I mean, as far as difficulty, I'd probably put 2 at the top of the list there.
yeah, none of the others like force you to learn wrong words.
Yeah, the wrong warps, and for the viewers listening out there, Canis will go into more detail as the game starts on that, but it's a very technical glitch there. So who will be racing in this? Who will we have?
This is actually going to be a solo event here with
Oh.
Mr. Canis. So this is going to be 80% all by himself because everyone else has got chicken, Kappa.
Oh, nice.
So before we get started here, I do want to give another shout out to the great guys over the DKC one group. Thank you very much, guys. Like I said, I feel like I was adopted into you guys' group. The whole entire community is great. I did want to go ahead and say we had a $5 donation from Mr. Novasun. If I am assuming your gender, I don't mean to, but definitely getting a shout out to you guys. So thank you very much for that awesome donation. And with that, we're right on to DKC2 with Mr. Canis.
Canis will be racing himself. Good luck, Canis.
Thank you, guys. How's the audio situation here?
Sounds good here, and actually you've been live for about 30 seconds, so
Yeah,
since you guys were already in Discord, I'm like, oh, bring it on through.
yeah. I've been hearing you just fine.
Can I just,
No issues.
are we still, the reason I was asking, are we still on my audio, or like, can I cut my audio, or like, what's gonna?
Oh, Slick, you're good, your friend, but you can stay here if you want to
Oh
give
yeah, I'm gonna
Mr.
say, I
Canis
was
some
just
support.
worried like you were still on my audio or something, and I was just like, turn everything off, and like, no one can hear anything or something.
Yeah, I'd want to stick around for commentary.
Well, I'm not gonna
no.
commentate, I don't know what's going on.
Just started the run by accident. Who said?
Oh man.
All right, well, I'm ready when you are.
All right, so you are ready when I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get that little marathon jitter out of the way. We're good. You're good. You got this, man. All right, so we'll continue this awesome monkey action in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Good luck.
Well, thank you very much for having me. This is DKC2 any percent. Goal here is to just get to the main form of Captain K. Rool at the end of the game. There's a hidden version of him in the Lost World, but not required for this category. We're just gonna fly through the main stages. The first 2 worlds here, we actually have developer intended warps, so they go by very quickly. Here we have our first wrong warp of the run, though. About 6 of these, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I get an invisible object with that beetle, throw it, and I am out of the level. Just a little bit faster than using the developer intended warp.
Yeah, if I may, would it be okay if I explained how wrong warps work or no?
Please do.
Okay, so this invisible object that you saw Diddy hold, the game has no clue what to think of it. Okay, well, basically what it does is it changes the property of whatever ID spawns on the screen next. And when the game, and what we do with that is we change the properties of a warp barrel, and we go into it, and the warp barrel's properties are changed. The game doesn't like that. It tries shooting us out of the barrel, and the game says, wait, something's really wrong here. We need to send him to a certain part of the game where he'll be safe, and it just boots you out of the level.
Right now doing a really hard one. Very precise there, we got it. Involves a double jump with the snake. One of the things that makes this game, in my opinion, a little harder than some of the other donkeys is there's a lot of tough animal tech. So for example, the snake can do these double jumps that take weeks to learn. very complicated spider tech. Eduardo makes his return, of course, and he has some new moves as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Squawks does more than shine a flashlight in this game as well.
A useful bird. Nice. But you notice here, Crow is not a useful bird, and he's the most RNG thing in the game.
Yeah, in RTA you reset to the sky a lot.
Because you don't know how many of those eggs are going to be fake that you can't toss.
Alright, he got one fake in that fight, which is pretty okay.
Yeah,
Most
not
runners
bad.
are for that.
There we go. That's another wrong warp here. So a lot of these wrong warps, they actually don't really save a lot of time, because all these levels have developer intended warps anyway. So they're not really a big deal. Here's a double jump, by the way. You can do that by throwing Kongs at an enemy and jumping at the right time. But basically what I'm saying is these wrong warps don't really do much. All they do is skip that little room that has an exclamation point in it and stepping on the goal. But later in the run, there's a few levels where you save like close to a minute from the wrong warps.
Right. Another very interesting property about doing a wrong warp in a level is while the game boots you out of the level, it does not count it as being complete. So you do not get the percentage for beating the level if you do a wrong warp. But this is any percent, so...
Yeah, the goal is to just take down K. Rool. I'm pretty sure if there were a wrong warp that took you to the last level, then that would be considered
guess
valid
why
for
we
this
don't-
category. But now we still have to go through each individual level here. Just get to complete some of them very quickly.
My
Here's the
guess on
goal.
why we don't use Fight K. Rool 2 is because needs a cheat code in order to get to him in a fast way, and any percent doesn't use cheats.
Although once upon a time I used to use the lives cheat just to get like a run to the end when I was first learning. It's brutal.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that definitely is not valid. So here's pretty much this. We're done with these really short levels now. The run starts to pick up in difficulty here, starting with this boss. Here on out, most of the levels average around 60 seconds each, and we should be seeing a lot of unique, interesting tech in each. This boss here has a trick called Lava Fly coming up, where we're going to basically fly across the lava. Here goes. Survive that. Is very it's kind of a tight jump, and what we do is we use a buffered jump when we get to the other side to basically jump as soon as we land on that little cliff. And normally when you land on that cliff you would just kind of get knocked downward into the lava, but instead if you buffer jump in you can survive. No flying Diddy, sorry guys.
Oh, no air Diddy running
Yeah,
down.
yeah, as a swag technique I missed.
The lava fly trick he did is one of those tricks in the DKC series where it saves 4 seconds if you get it, but if you mess it up, it loses 45 seconds to a minute.
Yep, there's a lot of that in this game.
Oh yeah.
For people wondering what the Diddy air thing is, after you beat that boss, if you jump up in the air, Diddy can just like stay up in the air until the end of the stage. So, a little swag.
So now actually playing through the entire level. Get to use Eduardo the Rhino here, but I'm done with him already. And man, this game has so many unique tricks. Pretty much every couple levels you see something new. What's going to happen right here is I've stored a super jump, and when I take damage on this next enemy, I'm going to have a ton of height. Means I can hover all the way across that gap, collecting the G in the process. And on to Glimmers.
Can I
Which
just say
is-
something real quick?
Yeah,
The estimated time is 1 hour and 10 minutes. This man is gonna get a 40.
well, let's see. I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
could miss that estimate. It could happen, so don't count it out.
Do I dare? Do I dare say that this man will get a 44-16 at worst?
At best, dude. Like, that's world record, so can't really do much better than that.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Glimmers here, you can't really have a catastrophic mistake unless you're brand new to the game, but you can lose a lot of time here, like just did, and basically bonking on corners or getting hit by an enemy, it adds up pretty fast, and once you're playing this level as Diddy, then it gets a lot harder to get around the corner, so it usually adds up to like probably 5 seconds lost being Diddy here, but so far still managing to dodge things pretty okay here is Diddy, so we're good.
I just like the fact they toned down the light effect here, because the light in the first game with Squawk was very blinding,
Yeah.
very lag oriented. This one they fixed that issue, so you can notice it here.
So this level is kind of weird. It's half a normal platforming level, and then the second half is skipped by wrong warp, which is the newest glitch found in the game. Getting close to a year old now, but this will save 22 seconds if I get it first try. So here it goes. I'm not going to try to explain it until I'm done.
Okay.
Or you can try, but yeah, there you go. So basically that guy's forward swiping animation, I don't know why, but when he's like lifting that sword out of the ground at the same time you're shooting out of a barrel, game doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, the game loses all control of life for a little bit.
And like sacrificing Dixie basically increases the number of frames you have to do it. It doesn't make any sense, to be honest, but, you know, if you do that, you get to skip the level, so yay. This level is in my opinion, one of the hardest levels in the game.
Isn't one of the few where you're the animal the whole entire time?
Yes.
This level's really easy to take damage in, so if you're like trying to be a perfectionist about your run and like really get everything as good as possible, then this level actually becomes incredibly difficult to do because the hitboxes are terrible. But it looks like we make it through here unscathed, unless I forgot something.
It's looking good.
So here we're gonna take a level that it's normally over a minute and make it less than 25 seconds. So going in this water, swapping conks on purpose while underwater, which is going to make this guy going to be flying into the air. Now we're going to do that beetle magic that we saw in World 1, except this time it's actually going to save a ton more time. Get an invisible object. And I have to throw this at a precise location while falling, and then boom, out of the level.
There we go, 30 seconds saved.
And this level is pretty straightforward, except for one cool trick at the end. Once you have the maze memorized, it's just a matter of trying to time the shots as quickly as you can. So coming up here is a trick called Vine Clip. If you can believe it, involves clipping through a vine. If you get it right, you save like at least 8 seconds. If you miss it, you'll either lose those 8 seconds or you can lose like 20 seconds if you get hit. Let's see what happens. That's an easy trick. So yeah, with that level, pretty much wraps up World 3. This boss coming up here is basically a glorified cutscene. Now's a good time for donation comments.
Well, good, because I have one.
Sweet.
Alright, so I have a $15 donation from Mr. Slick that says, "Shoutouts to broccoli, Candace's favorite vegetable." So thank you very much for that donation, Slick.
Go Team Broccoli.
Can you return donations?
Oh, it's for the kids though.
Yo,
Come
you're
on.
hilarious.
I don't want your
You're
dirty
hilarious.
money if it has broccoli on it.
Oh man.
Thank you very much, Slick, for your contribution here. Whoa.
Yeah, there are two sides to the DKC community with an ongoing meme of Team Broccoli and Team Not Broccoli.
And Canis is king of King Not Broccoli.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
What it really is there's me who admits he doesn't like broccoli. There's people who actually like broccoli who are completely mental. And there's a
What?
whole bunch of bandwagoners who pretend they like broccoli just because they think it's funny.
Goodness.
Anyway, so that's what that's all about. So, good stuff.
Ye-
Yeah, so this boss, I mean, basically whenever the boss jumps, you jump so you don't get stunned. And you notice he moves out of the way at the last moment and then throws a barrel. So that way there's no time wasted. Normally you back up and throw the barrel, but that wastes, over time a few seconds. So
Yeah.
that's what strategy he used there.
When Dixie throws, she kind of winds her hair back a little bit, and that backwards motion is actually used in both this game and DKC3 on certain bosses. Well, it looks like that was a sub 13 minute World 3, which is pretty good for marathon setting.
12:52.
So yeah, here's the start of the honey levels. This honey is harder to climb than it looks. Definitely takes a lot of practice to be able to do it effectively. Here's a weird trick. We're gonna jump on the spider, jump on a hook, jump off the spider, and now the camera's going crazy. And yeah, we're basically surfing the camera across the honey. That's called a scrolly scroll.
My theory on is it okay if I explain my theory on scrolly scroll?
Sure.
Okay, so what I think is happening is so when you're on a hook, the game puts you in a thinks that you're in a stationary position, and obviously when you're running around on the spider, you're in a moving position. And so yeah, what you do is you set a web under the hook, you dismount Squitter so that Diddy automatically reaches on the hook, and then the game's like, wait a minute, he's also on the spider too, throw him on there as well. And so the game throws you back on the spider after you landed on the hook, but the game still thinks you're stationary, not moving, and then you're moving around while the game thinks you're not moving, and the camera's like, oh no, I need to catch her, and then it goes freaks out.
Sounds about right. I
Yeah.
don't know the science behind it, but it makes sense. Yeah,
No.
the camera just doesn't know what to do.
Now, this carnival stage is played pretty much the way it's intended to be played. I mean, there's not much you can really do here.
Yeah.
Just don't die. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
That, and you can actually, believe it or not, save about a second if you're,
If you're jumping
really
on the
aggressive.
heels.
Well, there's the flitter skips. I just did one right there, but also when you jump from cart to cart, how and where you jump to the next cart does actually add up. But
isn't
yeah,
it
it's pretty
faster
much
to jump going down a hill.
what's up?
Is it faster to jump going down a hill?
It depends on the jump, really. I don't know. I just copy what the task does, which is like usually a short hop from the max distance. You can do a short hop and still make it, but sometimes you'll be, yeah, like going down a hill and you'll need to do a full jump.
Okay, because I know some riders like do that. Like when the really big hills are they're about to go down, they just jump down them. And,
Here's a really important trick, by the way. That right there, mandatory.
nice.
All right,
But of
so.
course, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, this next level is the first thing that's a little scary. The wrong warp in this level, but it's actually really hard. So here goes. I'm gonna use a beetle, but instead of clashing oh my god, I already messed up. All right, never mind. But yeah, instead of using two beetles and clashing them together, we're actually gonna use the thorns to turn the beetle into an invisible object. Basically all that was is climbing the rope poorly. You have to climb the rope in a certain way, or else you won't actually get the wrong warp. So yeah, we got the oh no, this is bad. believe that worked, but okay, cool. Yeah, scary level there. That'd be a reset, an RTA for sure. But yeah, the reason I hesitated so much there is that guy's hitbox is bigger when he's throwing his hook. And I had to make sure I jumped over him when he doesn't have his hook out, because then you actually have enough space to jump over him.
So in this level, naturally, it's just best to go back and get hit by that spring there to launch you forward. There you go. You're jumping, going down the hills.
Yeah, there's sort of different rules for different cart levels in this game.
So the carts where you're attached to them, it's faster to jump down the hill, I guess.
Yeah, not close. I mean, yeah, I guess you always want to jump down the hills, but there's still, even so, like, different rules for this level versus the next one, Haunted Hall. Like this one, you don't want to ride, or you don't want to jump up the hills.
Okay.
Because with this, like, extra speed mechanic going on, for some reason, going up hills kind of catapults you. But in the next level, you want to jump up all the hills, and only down hills of certain height. It's weird.
Okay.
Coming up here is probably the hardest level. It involves just like straight up monkey action. Casually, like, you don't even really notice this level. It doesn't stand out. Like, I never thought it was hard at all, but in a speedrun, this level's crazy because of stuff like that. It probably looked like I just died there, but that is part of the route.
Is this what's the name of this stage? Is Mud something?
Yeah, mud hole.
Yeah, Mud Hole. Yeah, this is usually like where runs go to die, huh?
Yeah, there's a really solid chance of dying here.
Yeah, this
Probably lost more runs to this level than just about any other level in the game. So.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, this looks familiar.
Oops, okay. Wanted to jump over that barrel, no big deal. And now, after all that crazy platforming, I have to do another wrong warp. Fortunately, this one is more consistent for me than Brambler right now, so we are good to go. Comes in another honey level. This one is half monkey, half Eduardo the Rhino. Monkey half is by far the harder one. Do a trick there where I actually take damage on purpose there while team throwing, and it gives Dixie a lot of height to reach that hook early.
that trick he just did with climbing onto that hook saves about 10 seconds over a natural route. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's a very good trick, actually. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize is, sacrificing some characters actually benefits you in the long run.
Oh yeah. So far, besides the death in Brambler, the only unintentional damage was in the underwater level glimmers. Everything else has either been a damage boost or part of like setting up a trick.
Now, here we are. You're being chased by like a B-boss. You're just using Rambi to charge and basically just bounce through the level with precise jumps and whatnot.
I don't know how the estimate got to be 110, but take it. The next runners aren't ready yet. I'll go play some like Lost World levels or something. But yeah, realistically, just FYI, the next run this run will be over in like 20 minutes.
Now, Lost
Yeah.
Levels, do you mean the DKC2 ROM hack?
Oh, that's a good idea, but no, I meant the Lost World levels.
Oh, Lost World. Okay, my bad. Yeah.
It's definitely too late for her. Oh no, I just lunched out. See, I blame Slick for that, man. First he talks about broccoli, then he talks to me in chat and gets me hit by a damn bee.
Dude, that's a... Oh, no, I was gonna say, that's a great idea. You could, if this run goes well, you could recycle it to an all stages run, but you haven't done the Creme Coin code, so...
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh well,
But-
so be it.
So this level you definitely want to have Diddy at the beginning. So I had to grab Diddy and then I sacrificed Dixie here to reduce some lag. as well as like swap to Diddy quickly. Ooh, that could have been bad. Yeah, this is a new strat found by that guy in chat, Kryptonberry. Main reason again is just to reduce some lag, especially these parts coming up right here. Like these, this area right here that I'm rolling through, that normally lags like crazy. You have both going, so it helps.
Yeah. I will say this, playing through this level, for anybody who's new to DKC2, you'll find that this game has one of the best soundtracks out of all the Super NES games, in my opinion. I really like the soundtrack for this stage in particular.
Alright, so this is the most technical of the roller coaster levels by far. You can like either save or lose up to 3 seconds just by where you jump. So care about that 3 seconds. Best to get to memorizing.
Yeah, so I noticed that runners do not pick up all the plus barrels. I noticed that.
Yeah, like I don't even look at the barrels anymore. I'm just looking at the track for various wooden planks that I want to jump at.
Oh, okay.
Should always work out where Tupac, as we call him, doesn't hit you.
I mean, he's gangster. I mean, but yeah. So I noticed that you try to finish out with a time close to 0 when you get through those doors. I mean, if you have excess time, does it like count that back or?
No, it just resets next time Tupac appears.
Okay, so it doesn't take longer if you have extended time. I should say.
I think pretty much in general you can always afford to hit one minus barrel and or miss one plus barrel, but like this one for example, I'm actually going to hit 2 minus barrels, but the last one I hit is going to be so close to the gate that he won't have enough time to realize I'm out of time. Alright, so yeah, next few levels are pretty hard. This one mainly just because of the stupid ledges. So the ledges in this level, if you don't roll from the right distance from the ledge, you'll kind of just get caught on the ledge, and instead of getting the distance you expected, you end up falling in a pit. This is most likely to kill me right here. But we made it through. Those pillars are brutal. And of course there's this wind mechanic, which I don't even notice anymore, but that does come into play here. Like I can anticipate that it's going to pick me up in certain spots, and I won't have to worry about it killing me, because it is very predictable actually. It's based on your left-right position.
Nice throw.
Alright, so here's a level that people like to see. It's definitely fun to watch.
Oh, this one. Love this one.
Pretty much speaks for itself. Once you have it memorized, you actually have a lot of leniency on where you move. As long as you can picture in your head where the bees are going to be, it's not too bad, but it certainly looks scary.
Yeah, it definitely looks scary. I mean, you're just constantly falling with a few stops in between here and there. I take it you're just memorizing bee locations and whatnot.
Yep.
And visual cues of when to go left or right.
There's an intentional deboost there to just sort of be invincible to those last few bees. Yeah, it's not as bad as it looks. It's mainly a matter of just understanding Dixie's mechanics, like how to chain like rolls and hovers together.
And for viewers out there, him losing Dixie there was intentional.
Yeah. So that last level looked impressive, but here's the one that's actually impressive. If you can get through this with the good strats, not die, it's very, very hard.
Just Webwoods? Yeah. It's a run killer if you aren't careful.
So, a lot going on here. I have to make these platforms under my feet by pressing R and L at the same time. And they will not spawn if you don't like plan them out very carefully. So you got that going on, and you obviously have the moving through the level, and you have shooting projectiles all at once. So like you actually kind of have to think like a spider. Like you got 8 things going on at once. And here's the hardest part right here. Boom. It's not over yet. This part's kind of hard as well. By the way, I'm taking damage on purpose there. Give me a little extra distance through this pit. We are out of here. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would say that was a perfect weapon list there. That was very good.
Thanks, man. The crow is back here as a ghost. He's gonna still like sacrifice his kin to try to beat you. You gotta kill the one real bird that he like sends after you, and then you get a barrel. And there's only 3 hits, but the barrel spawn location is random, and I just got the best possible luck there.
I often refer to him as my cousin.
Nice. True, yeah, your name is Crow. But yeah, this fight is you actually lose a ton of time here if you're if you don't have really good rope climbing. It's really what it comes down to. Alright, going to the last world. So far so good. I'm only really kicking myself right now over Bramble Scramble. That definitely sucks to have not gotten, but overall this is a decent run. World 6 doesn't have a lot that can go catastrophically wrong. You're more likely to just lose like 5 seconds in a level if you mess up. So
well, with the exception of that one wrong warp, that's
yeah,
pretty hard to get.
Yeah, there's one last wrong warp in this world, and I've been known to miss it, but missing that's not really as bad as missing some of the others.
Yeah, it's not going to cause you death or anything. It's just going to slow you down a little. But the consensus is that's the hardest one to get consistently.
Yeah, it's really nitpicky. There are things that can mess it up that I'm constantly learning like new things that can ruin it. Like, you think you understand it, and then you start missing it, and you have to like learn some new aspect of it you never realized.
Okay, now we noticed that you dug down near the ledge there as the water was transcending.
Oh yeah.
That trick.
Yeah. So if you hit the target while you're in the water, it'll trigger the fanfare because it thinks you fell from a great height. But if you duck off the corner there and touch the ground, it thinks, oh, he's touched the ground, so we don't have to give him the fanfare.
So I really like this stage also.
Yeah, it's old school. It's like half auto scroller, half like actual technique.
Yeah. Reverse skydiving, I love it.
Yeah. So far, going pretty well. I got a trick that people usually don't get.
Is that the one where you're gliding underneath the pair of bees?
Oh, that's coming up. Yeah, ghetto bees.
Yeah, ghetto bees is pretty tricky.
If you miss it, you lose more time than you would think because you must go into the next level with 2 monkeys. So here it is right here, ghetto bees. Because you're going under the bees, get it?
Yep. Here we go. Got it.
I almost got hit by these easy to dodge hook guys. Cool, that was actually, the audio cue on that level is really good, so happy with that. That's not a level I usually do correctly. Coming up here is probably the most mind-blowing trick in the whole game if you've never seen it before. Unfortunately, most people have seen it at this point, but just in case you haven't, something weird's gonna happen here. But you have to enter this level with 2 monkeys, and I have to make sure I have this barrel here for the next minute. So I'm gonna try really hard to not have something break it. In the meantime, try to do a couple lag reduction strats here. Normally this is a 5-minute level, but it is halfway over now.
This is for all the people who hate auto scrollers.
I hate auto-scrollers, but this is my favorite song in the game, so like, kinda sucks, but
It's a
still
mixed,
get to hear
mixed
it.
blessing, mixed blessing. Yeah, I can't help but like almost every stage has a wonderful soundtrack. Really like it.
I'm a kind of a metal guy, so like this, to me, this is the most metal song, 'cause it's got like all the minor key stuff. Alright, so here it is. Oh crap, I took damage, or it's over. Oh wait. So yeah, entering clappers here. This is kind of probably the easiest level in World 6, but it's notorious for messing up good runs just because people get overconfident with it, I think. So definitely need
there
to...
is an interesting glitch near the end of this stage.
Oh yeah. Oh no, okay. Bad movement is all. Yeah, if anyone has any qualms with your girlfriend currently, then this level's for you. Oh, that was interesting. Huh, look at her float. What was that all about? Okay. Alright, so yeah, this strat is called Throw Your Girlfriend. Threw her at an invisible invincibility barrel while she's crying and following me around. But with that invincibility barrel, we can get through that last section.
Yeah, it
Coming
makes
up.
that last section very easy.
Yeah, so assuming you can do a basic roll.
Yeah. Press Y again, huh?
Yeah, just don't press it too early. So here's the level with the last wrong warp. Do you request silence for like a second here? Thank you. Crap. There you go. Yeah, that's it. We turn the little clobber guy to invisible object, throw it at just the right spot, and we get a cannon.
Oh, first try, nice. That is the hardest wrong warp. If you miss it, you have to go into a bonus and try again, essentially. And it's worth trying again because it
Oh, for
skips
sure.
so much.
I don't know, man. Top sail wrong warp might be harder.
It's
So
debatable.
it's different for
but-
everybody, but I agree, CLC is really, really hard. So I just flew through the snake section really well, but all those double jumps I was doing are actually really hard to learn. And yeah, I didn't miss any of them, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Now we're going to play as Squawk, so he does more than carry a flashlight this time, which is nice.
Shoutouts to Useful Squad.
This part's actually kind of hard. Skipping some cycles here. The time I took damage, by the way, was on purpose. It's the fastest way to get through that section. But it also means that if you get hit by any of these bees, you die. I don't know, man. I feel like Bramble Scramble is the hardest wrong warp right now, because I mess it up in practice a lot and mess it up in this run. But it changes, you know, from day to day, which one's gonna seem hard that particular day. I wonder what pace this is. I honestly have no idea. It's close to a 40 pace, but I don't think it's gonna be quite a 40.
Right now I'm looking at like 36 minutes right now, where you currently are.
I'm just gonna play it pretty safe and consistent here. I'm tempted to be crazy to try to ensure a 40, but rather not die. Ooh. Yeah, could be a 40.
Nice despawn there.
God dang it.
Yeah.
It is a very sloppy start to this level, which is not good.
Yeah, we
think-
notice you turn around every now and then to either despawn or manipulate the camera so you can roll through enemies.
Yeah. Anytime you have an enemy that's on like the edge of the screen and you face away from them so that they're no longer on the screen, you'll despawn them. Certain enemies will just respawn again once you face them again. Ooh, this could be bad. I need to really pay attention here. Never mind. Didn't get midway. So, alright, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. I was holding my breath there because we would have lost like a
that was
minute
big
if I
while.
died
It was
there.
like serious time.
But
Yeah,
I believe this is a 40.
Now, the most useful trick in that stage is the fact you flew over the bird, the blackbird at the beginning, which skips the race sequence.
Yep, yeah, I was gonna mention that before I had to concentrate, but yeah, you can skip the race altogether, and the reason that's faster is just because, like, when it's starting, you have that little stoplight that counts down.
Here we are at K. Rule. Then he's gone all pirate on us.
Yeah, this is definitely a 40, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the whole, I guess, are you gonna do Blue Diddy?
I won't get a 40 if I do Blue Diddy.
Okay, don't do it then.
If somebody donates like a lot of money right now, I'll do Blue Diddy.
It's 100% swag. But,
Just so you know, Taco, though, the timer is, you probably know this, but it's when the creme coin touches you when it falls from the ceiling.
So yeah, they actually, this game, you know, compared to the BKC one, they actually made the bosses a little bit harder. They actually gave them multiple phases. But still pretty easy once you get the patterns down.
Yeah, it's the only time this boss becomes hard is when you're on a really, really good pace. People, even like the best players, are known to like make mistakes here sometimes. But
Just get the jitters.
yeah, it's exactly what it is. Like your hands start to twitch and shake. But normally this guy is pretty much a breeze once you memorize his patterns. The only real trick to it is trying to time your throws so that hit him as soon as he's vulnerable there. Similar to K. Rool and DKC1 when he throws his crown, and this guy starts sucking in with his blunderbuss, you throw it in right away.
And you usually use visual cues, or in this case, you jumped in the air, which was the precise time.
Yeah, there's actually a different cue for every single throw in this fight. I did
is
a
there?
tutorial video on. It takes a while to like know what to do for each throw, but there's pretty much a trick for each one. Like this one, for example, I know that I can basically throw as soon as I pick it up. I grab it from the left, just like that.
And for people who never played DKC1, if you get hit by those ghosts that shoot out the gun, they either slow Diddy down or make them stop. You have to like mash your controller to free them.
But yeah, timer's coming up in about 20 seconds here. For this last hit, here's a really cool strat that I learned from Waffle recently. I don't think many people know this yet, but as soon as the cannonball appears, run right. As soon as you touch the right wall, turn around and throw. And you have like the perfectly timed hit. So yeah, here comes the coin. Get ready and time.
Yo, GG, Canis.
GG,
Thank you very much.
GG, dude.
But yeah, Bramble Scramble is a horrible level and I hate it. But other than that, it's a good run.
Very good run. Yeah, just trying to get a deathless run in this is it's very, very hard.
Whipping out that casual 40.
Yeah, casual
late at night
40.
before bed. Is like, all
Exactly.
right, I'll just, I can just accommodate you guys. Like, we'll just pull it off here.
Well, for people who don't follow up on the DKC 2 speed running, world record 39 and change by Void.
Yeah, 39:49, so this is about a minute from that.
Yeah, so really, really good time here.
40 used to be like the time to get, but recently when that new rung warp was found in World 3, 40 became a little bit easier to get, so it's not quite as big a deal, but it's still a pretty darn good time. Getting that new rung warp unlocked 39 as a possibility. Myself and a couple other runners, particularly 2 J runners, are currently chasing the 39. So looking forward to seeing who gets that first.
Nice. So, yeah. So as far as the DKC2 community, I'd say there are a lot of racers in that. Am I correct, Canis?
For sure, yeah. Currently not as many as DKC1, but over the years, like the popular game, changes constantly.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah.
It used to be we would do races of this game, several nights per week, kind of like the Degenerate Hour. I'm sure we'll go back to that. Who knows? Maybe even DKC3 will see its limelight.
Oh yeah, it'll toggle back. I mean, really, it's all one big DKC community.
Yeah, DKC 1 through 3, we're all pretty tight knit. We all use the same Discord server.
Yeah.
So stop on by. We have a link to our Discord server on that wiki that Crow mentioned at the end of DKC1. I'll repeat again, it is dkcspeedruns.com. But if you're a person who uses the internet, likes to browse websites, first thing you should do is go donate to this marathon.
Indeed.
So thank you very much for having me, Taco. Sorry I finished so early, but...
And just to give a plug, hey, Canis, for viewers out there, if you haven't followed them, give them a follow. Show some appreciation and love there. But a good run.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for commentating.
Excellent run, dude. When you apologize for finishing too early, like, you know you're good at this game.
Exactly.
Subtle e-brag. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Let's let these credits keep playing because this music is amazing.
The real credits.
Yeah. Looks like next run's supposed to start in a while. Hopefully, hopefully these 3 runners are ready. If you need something to waste time for like 20 minutes, might be able to think of something here.
You said you were gonna show off the Lost World level.
I was not expecting to actually do that, but
Why not? Let's do it. Lost World.
it's gonna be really bad.
Hey, I mean, it's just exhibition, so no worries.
No pressure.
No pressure.
And not only that, but some of the viewers don't even know what the Lost World is. I mean, so they.
Well, surely they do. Of course they do. See the bridge right here? You go across that bridge. Lost World. Voila.
Yeah, they just like in reference, it's kind of like almost like a version of like the lost levels of Mario. It's just stupid hard.
I mean, how did it become lost though? Like, what happened? Like,
How can it get lost? You're on
they
an
forgot how to
island.
get there, or what?
You're on an island. You're bound to go everywhere on this island.
Right?
So
It's like inside the mountain, I think.
I guess.
And you go inside the mountain, and then there's another little mountain with a crocodile head.
It's
And
like
we've played enough Banjo-Kazooie to know that inside that crocodile head thing.
it's like Donkey Kong's version of Mountain Inception, I guess.
The final boss is actually Mr. Vile, so
Now
meanest
Slick and
crocodile in the game.
Fearless, we came to the conclusion that in reality, at least as far as the DKC-1 was concerned, that that's really K. Rool's island. That's the Kremlin's island. The temples there are ancient. They all have their faces on there, so they were there first. I mean, and here we are, being the bad guys, being the DKC, destroying their factory and stealing their bananas, and so K. Rool's trying to come and stop the bad guy.
No. No, you're getting into peachy theories at that point. I never said I don't have any theories, dude. You're getting into weird stuff there.
Oh, whatever.
crazy
You've
matter
been
going
agreeing with
on.
me for the longest time, Slick.
You're getting into that conspiracy theory type of stuff. Which I'm not gonna I can neither confirm nor deny such what do you call it? Acquisitions, confirmations, I don't know, whatever the word is. Acquisitions, who knows, man? Look at Millstone Mayhem in
What?
World 2, DKC 1. Why are there? It's ancient ruins, right? So why are there Kremlin figures on the pillars
I know.
rather than Kong?
Oh,
figures?
dang.
Who knows?
I know.
Did you guys ever think
Oh,
of that?
man.
Isn't that interesting?
That's why I'm thinking that, really the Kremlins were there first. I mean, I'm just saying.
I think it's it's actually a valid it's a valid theory.
You're ruining my childhood here, dude. You know that, right?
It's ruined. It blew my mind too, Kenny. It's not as bad as broccoli. Like, it's worth considering.
Why?
So, but yeah.
I mean, because you have actual reasoning there. Like, why are there ancient ruins with Kremlins carved into these stone pillars? If the Kongs were here first, just think about it.
Now, one of the interesting things, if you actually pay attention to DKC1, as you're beating each world, you'll notice that K. Rool's ship is getting closer and closer. It'll actually get bigger on the screen.
Yeah, dude, you pointed this out to me. I'd never realized this, like, in whatever, like 25 years. The 25 years I've been playing this game.
Yeah, I
Never
just
knew.
looked at it, I was like, I think that ship's getting bigger. I look closer, I'm like, it is. It's
I
actually,
know. When I found that out, I had to share it on Facebook.
Like, blew my freaking mind. Yep.
Insane.
So it's just, I really appreciate these games. They're just well done. It's just the soundtracks are amazing for the technology they have.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
So DKC 3 is they finally decide, hey, let's actually make the Space Monkey program.
You know what? The
True.
only complaint I have is the song to what is it? Lakeside Limbo in DKC 3.
Yeah.
That was a terrible idea to make it's either a tuba or a baritone. Like, dude, that is not a lead instrument. Who makes no, dude, that's not a good song.
That's just symbolic of the entire game. It's like having Kitty as one of the main playable characters.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Kitty is more reasonable than having that instrument as a lead as for that song, though.
My problem with DKC 3
I
is
agree
it
with
plays
you,
my
bro.
boy Diddy. I'm like, man. Diddy's like,
Exactly.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's my main complaint as well.
Bad
Not only
enough
that,
they
but they were
removed
like,
Donkey.
Diddy was kidnapped. I'm like, Diddy's too good to be kidnapped. I mean,
Dude, he's too fast. How did they catch him? I don't believe it, man.
exactly. It can't be done.
So if
Instead, you're
anyone
forced-
doesn't know this cheat, you can get all 75 of the Krem coins by a series of things you can do in level 1 here. Gotta jump over those 2 bananas.
Exhibition time. I like it.
Get that banana bunch over there. Continue to make sure you dodge those. Get the 1-up. Do the same thing.
Dude, these like cheats just blow my mind. Like, this is a game I never thought of as having cheats.
There's no way anyone could ever like this out. There you go.
Who can
You get all
figure this
75.
out? Like,
I don't know. There's some serious donkey scientists
this
out
is
there.
some Nintendo power.
Actually,
Oh
I
no,
found
I
out-
can't use Funky's plane. Oh, we gotta farm.
I found out about this cheat from a cheat book that I had found in my grocery store.
You know, I just realized there was one trick in DKC 1 we did not show.
It's like, yo, I was in my produce aisle. I was like just like shopping for broccoli, and I found a DKC cheat book, dude. And I just like whipped it out and found all the creme coins and everything.
I know, like, DKC 1, you know, there are places in certain levels where you can pin yourself between a wall and an enemy and get infinite lives by constantly jumping off of them and bouncing on the wall.
bouncing on walls, but
Yeah, basically you're pinned between a wall and an enemy, and you're in a jumping state on the enemy. And when you do that, you get like infinite lives. Like you can get like over 100 lives.
oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Was that intended, do you think? I guess it has to be. How else would that...
It is intended for you to get extra men after jumping on so many enemies, because as a kid I remember doing Misty the vanilla way, and instead of rolling through all those beavers, if you just bounce on all of them, you will get at least 1 to 2 extra men. So that is a thing. Now I'm sure they didn't intend. Imagine people getting pinned between a wall and a enemy and abusing it to that extent. But
Yeah, DKC2 run is over. I finished early, so just playing some Lost World levels, which don't have a whole lot of experience with. Oh my god, as you can see.
hey, they're really tough.
I told you it's be bad, man.
These are pretty cool though, like with the tires and stuff.
Yeah,
and
the
like
tires.
the ice PCP, whatever, well, Black Ice Battle.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the only one that like I actually like.
Most people dread the animal antics though. That's
Animalantics, there you go. That's a good
And
thing.
speedrun, that's like way easier than Black Ice Battle, but yeah, it's still a pretty hard level.
yeah, the Black Ice one. That's the one where we're falling and everything. That's crazy. Going between all those little narrow chutes.
There we go. So yeah, there's a glitch. It's basically the same trick from Hornet Hole, but in that setting, which is a lot harder to control.
Yeah, that's very. I remember as a kid playing. I would get stuck right there at that level. I'd never get it done. Very tough stuff.
Here's the one I was saying is the hardest for sure. I think pretty much every runner would agree that this is the hardest in a speedrun setting.
So Canis, can you explain something? This is probably very elementary, but like sometimes it looks very close and like you get the fanfare when you exit a level, and other times you just like get the quick thing. Like what makes the difference? Is it, my theory is like it's if you're above the height of the target when you jump on it, you'll get the fanfare, and when you're below it, you'll get the normal thing. But I don't actually know, because it seems like sometimes I can't really predict what's gonna happen.
Just
You know what I'm
basically,
talking
yeah, yeah, it's a matter of height. If you like, as soon as you've reached a certain height, oh my gosh, really? Okay. Yeah, like, if you like touch the ground next to it, it thinks you've come from a low height, and that'll cause it to not trigger the fanfare. Some levels are weird, like I don't know, just sprints, for example.
Yeah. And yeah, that's essentially what I'm asking. Like, where, like, how do I know if I triggered the fanfare or not, or is it like level specific?
Yeah, it is kind of level specific, actually. I don't really know all the rules, but I can tell you, like, if we look at a particular level, I can be like, yeah, to that particular fanfare.
Well, that's a fair answer. That's like I kind of suspected as much. I just wasn't sure. But like, I know you've been doing like hella like intense DKC2 science lately, so I figured like if like you're the guy to ask for any little detail like that.
Also known as Mr. Frame Analyzer.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, for those of y'all that don't know, during Canis's practice, he'll actually break down all his movement, like frame by frame. I mean, just very, very meticulous. But it shows. I mean, it's really good.
It's not at these Lost World levels.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
think we're...
you didn't break down these ones, but the levels you have.
Do you run 102, Canis?
No. Eventually I'll learn that, but the completion categories in donkey games don't interest me that much, to be honest.
Yeah, they don't appeal to me, but I want to learn more.
I'm gonna try to do this trick.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just exhausting, just hitting everything.
And then if I learn it, I know Stu's gonna be like, "Yo, let's play
Yeah.
1-on-1." Like,
Yeah, Stu. For those of y'all that don't know, Stu.
well, some people,
What?
that's community specific. Some
Yeah.
people are crazy about the completionist categories. Other people
Yeah.
just enjoy I mean, the whole point is to finish the game as fast as possible, right? So why do I want to
Yeah.
slow myself down by going through bonus stages and all that? I mean, that's just the point of view. I'm not,
Yeah, it's just a different race category.
Yeah, it's very different for different people. Also, like for me, it's different games too. Like in Zelda games, I like to do completion.
Yeah.
That's
it-
different because you're getting items and like equipment. And
well, some of those items are enabled. You can progress through all the DKCs without getting all the bonuses.
very
If the
true,
next
yeah.
runner is ready, I will gladly stop this Lost World stuff.
Yeah. That's Kane saying, "Please put me out of my misery."
I mean, I'm enjoying the conversation here.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know if
actually
anyone
enjoying
is
it.
enjoying me speak, but this
Uh,
is fun for me.
I hope the audience is enjoying it as much. If anybody has any questions in the audience, just feel free to type, and we'll do our best to answer them.
I can just remember how to do this trick here, make the ending much.
I don't know if Toko's in. Is there any donations? I
Don't
guess.
remember how to do
Always
this.
do
There's
that.
like there's a
Well,
glitch
right
you can
now we
do.
don't, but we are up to $471 raised, so we're doing very well.
Nice.
Just want to let you guys know that we do have another bonus incentive out there. If we do beat our last year's goal of $500, I will be reading a junior novel of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a very great origin story.
Whoa.
Produced around the 90s.
That's
It'll be a
not
live reading, so that should be a lot of fun if we can get that met.
So what's that? We're $29 away. We're simply 2,900 pennies away from that goal.
And 1 cent, because I mean we hit exactly
And
500
1
last
cent.
year.
Come on, just give us your money.
I forgot to say please.
I would
Wow.
say, please give us your money responsibly.
And all your donations are tax deductible. That's the big plus. So
there
Yeah,
you go.
make sure you
Taxes
get
is
your
tax
tax
deductible.
deductible thing. When I made my donation, it gave me, you'll see it. It's like, yo, print out this thing, and you get, you'll see it. You'll see it.
So here's one Lost World level where I actually know something cool for. Oops. That's it.
Oh, the barrel strat. This is a good one. Oh,
It's for the children.
Diddy, please.
I don't remember like what the cue for it is that I used to use.
I just remember that the barrel has to be
Dang it.
set on the ground. The sword guy has to hit the barrel the moment it runs out of time.
Oh, that's you're thinking of the 102 strat.
Oh, is
This
that the
is
one I
basically the
just
same glitch I used in Crackhead.
read?
Dang
Okay.
it! I don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
Donate
didn't
money
know
to keep
which-
kids off crack.
Yeah, I didn't know which strat because I guess the only time I watch this is when Stu
There we
or
go.
Undeniable runs it.
I'm gonna need coins.
Oh, that was interesting.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
cool.
it's the
I've
same
never
thing.
seen that strat before. That was actually pretty.
Yeah, it's not used in 102 because you do have to get to the end of the level in 102.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
But yeah, that's for the category true ending, which basically what I'm doing, the category true ending is like you instead of fighting K. Rool at the end of the regular game, you fight the like second form that's at the end of the Lost World. You
Yeah.
don't end up fighting him his first form. But
People
yeah,
wonder
here's the
what-
last level
Oh, go ahead.
of the boss level.
Wait, I thought that was only a 102 strat, the thing with the weird barrels.
Well, the 102 strat, you get the barrel and you go over to the left side of the stage and it zips you all the way to the right.
Yeah, that one's a zip. That was what I just did is a straight up wrong warp.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
but
a-
you never,
that's
you
gross,
don't
though.
even like, but you wouldn't even enter that stage in any percent. So like, what? How is that not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. There's this other category, true ending.
Are you talking
True
about
any
oh,
percent.
okay.
True
Yeah.
any percent.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Gotcha.
Yeah. I've seen Void recently run true any percent. Never seen him use that strat though. I may have just missed him during those times, but
Yeah, if he was running true ending, then he definitely.
I'm sure he did, but I just missed it. See, this one here is crazy because you use all the animal buddies and like the stage is just going crazy.
This
Like, yo,
ruined my
put this
childhood
into
for sure.
perspective. Going by what the chat is saying, this is about the time they expected you to finish this run, Canis.
Really, it's already that much time. That means I've been really slow at the Lost World levels, which I know is true. Yeah, let this serve as an example to everyone. This is oh my gosh, this is the difference between speedrunner playing levels that he's practiced a lot versus levels he hasn't practiced a lot.
Yeah, but I still think this is like, I don't know, I see a lot of people get frustrated over this level in particular, the Lost World. Mainly just the bird section. The rest of it, they seem to have a pretty good handle.
Yeah, I'm surprised that bee got me, to be honest. I just gotta be more careful here. If I go into that section with 2 Kongs, it becomes really safe. Because then you're doing intentional damage boost the whole time. You don't have to worry about dying nearly as much. So
Yeah.
let me see if I can demonstrate this time. So here, I'm not even gonna worry about these mosquito things. I'm just gonna take damage. Since I got the DK barrel, do another damage boost off that guy. Boom.
Nice.
There we go. Oh. Those are the Lost World levels, and now is the true final boss of the game.
And the true final boss, only one hit, huh?
Yeah, just one hit, but we gotta dodge like.
You gotta dodge
50
like a lot
things.
more stuff, yeah. I'll tell you what, that is probably the world's best blunderbuss. Be soaked in water and still function.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
This is definitely the coolest room in the game, I think. I really like the,
Yeah, the background.
Yeah,
the
it's like-
background. That's a nice touch, really. Really, just the temple look itself. And all this is just memorizing the patterns that are being shot out.
very straightforward pattern. Even like first casual attempt to this guy, I think I beat it.
I admit my first casual experience as a kid, I did not be like, what tripped me up was when he shot the really slow and then the fast moving ones. So you had to like pause to jump and then jump again. GG.
Yeah, thank you.
GG.
Best of
Because
luck to the next
that
one.
is Lost World stage is world is really hard. So even casually, it's a feat in my opinion.
Yes, indeed.
That's actually perfect. That now puts us 5 minutes before when the next run is supposed to start.
Yeah,
so.
it's actually good timing. And
Very
people
good
now
timing.
get to see the true ending.
Yeah, the cutscene here is pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
I
back for
never
the
got to
90s.
see it as a kid, so it's all I always like seeing it now. It's really nice.
It's one of the most wonderful things NES has to offer.
Yeah, for a Super NES game to have this type of cutscene in it, amazing.
Also, look at how clear these pixels are on the one chip SNES. Very much, even more, more so clear than the someone playing on emulator. Look at that, it's beautiful. You
Yeah.
can see those white pixels above Diddy's hat. That's the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. One chip represent, man. You and me.
One chip
Going all the
represent,
way,
let's
dude.
go.
So yeah, so there's your true ending, people. Once again, we have Canes to thank for that wonderful exhibition.
Yeah,
And
thanks for
showing
the
us the
commentary, guys, and thanks for the invite, Taku.
Be sure to give them a follow and be sure to donate for this great cause.
Shout out to Broccoli.
Yep, shout outs to Broccoli.
Shout out to the children.
What?
Anyway.
All right, guys. That was Mr. mikekanis there on Twitch, so go ahead and give him a follow. That was very awesome seeing the DK 1 and 2, but now I know what these guys want to see. We want to see some fury. So take a quick intermission really quick, and then we'll get started with that. So stay tuned.
All right, peace all.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys.